Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, Hume's Little Homestead. Today I wanted to give you an update on the meat birds. We got Cornish Cross to try and raise. This is our first time raising meat chickens just for meat. I've had chickens for, I think, the past 8 years now just for laying eggs, and we have processed a few of them, but they never tasted good. So we're hoping to get better results with raising Cornish Cross just for meat and not trying to cook an old hen or something. I'm just kidding. But really, it was old roosters that we did, which I've read that they're not good. Anyway, what I've noticed about the meat birds is they stay really hot. Like they're growing so fast, they're really big, and their bodies just are really, really like hot to the touch. Like they're warm temperature birds, and it's been very hot. We're in a drought, so it's been hot here where I live, and I decided to do something kind of for them because I felt bad that they were so hot. So I do a couple things. I spray off if you've been following along, we made a chicken tractor and it needed shade. So what I did to make shade for it is I used an old bed sheet that we had been using for art projects. Like when our kids wanted to do an art project in the house, I'd lay this sheet out, and so it has paint and stuff all over it. It was like an art project floor protector. And so anyway, I spray that sheet off, and that seems to cool them down. So it's not getting them wet or anything, but hey guys, are you starving? They're so hungry in the morning. So I just take the hose and spray this sheet off. The second thing I came up with this idea. I've seen it done freezing treats for chickens, and like you just freeze their scratch and stuff in a little bit of water. And so because there's so many of them, I have 19. That might not sound like a lot to some, but that is more chickens than I've ever raised at a time. I usually raise like 6 to 7 chicks at a time. So I have 19 of these guys, and I have 7 of egg layers that are going to be egg layers. And then I also have our full-grown birds that I'm taking care of. So it's been definitely interesting to jump into this many chickens to take care of. Anyway, my idea, all you have to have is an old ice cream bucket or some kind of container and scratch. I've also been using wild bird seed, and you just put it in the ice cream container and freeze it. So I'm going to show you what I've been mixing for their treats. I'm also going to show you the birds here. Hey guys! You can see how big they've gotten. I'll pull one out and show you in a minute. And yeah, I'll show you all this right now. Something different about the meat chickens, let me grab one, is that their feathers are not coming in everywhere, so they look really, really funny. They're super heavy, like just super heavy birds, and they're just so warm. Like their little bodies are so warm. So anyway, this is what they look so different than raising layer chicks. And like this area of their butt is just massive, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm feeding them twice a day now, and yesterday I fed them 3 times. And yeah, so, and I don't feed them at night, so they don't get food for that full 8 hours at night. But I got 2 of them out to show you. This one's a little smaller, but they just look so funny. But I mean, I think they're doing well. They seem healthy and happy, and they're friendly. They're really friendly little creatures. So anyway, that's how they look. Caden named one Jeffrey. I said we're gonna eat Jeffrey, but yeah, so I'll go grab a chicken their same age and show you the different size. So this is my largest egg laying hen that we're saving for egg laying. This is the Easter egger. The olive eggers are the gray ones. So this is my Easter egger, and you can see its feathers are filling out way more and just looking way better I wouldn't say better. They're just different. They're not as warm. They have more feathers. They're a lot more slender than the meat bird. So, egg layer, meat chicken. That's the difference. But the meat birds are actually more friendly than my egg layers, so that's kind of funny because these ones get to live forever. But these ones just like run up to you and they're just so nice and friendly, so it's kind of funny. But anyway, that's my experience so far with that. For the meat birds, I am feeding them Purina meat bird feed non-medicated crumbles. Like this. And I am giving them, I have an old Dairy Queen cup, 3 scoops in their little container. My front camera is busted, and so you'll have to work with me. I'm working with my selfie camera on my phone. But I ordered a new one, so that'll be here soon. So I just put the scoops in there, and then anyway, that's how it looks. Alright, so that's what I feed them, their regular diet. And I do this twice a day, like I said. Yesterday I did it 3 times. So it's kind of a small feeder for 19 birds. So that's why filling it up twice was working just fine. And that way they didn't eat it all at once and get themselves sick, because they just eat as much as they can as fast as they possibly can. So with me like kind of rationing them throughout the day, like I feed them, it's like 6 a.m. right now. I feed them at 6 a.m. and then I feed them at around 1 in the afternoon. And then if it's totally dry, yesterday it was totally gone around 5, and I fed them not as much. I fed them only 1 scoop at 5. And I also give them this little treat. So for the treat, I just put a scoop of wild bird. So there's the wild bird seed, and a scoop of flock raiser, and a scoop of scratch, the Dairy Queen cup size. Super scientific here, right? And I put it all in this ice cream bucket. So I'll do that now. The wild bird seed, flock raiser crumbles. It's what I've been feeding my ducks to get them to the full size. And then I'll give them scratch in this as well. It's over there. I'm going to take you over there. There's the scratch. So I've got it about 1/4 of the way full of just like treat type of food. Like the wild bird seed has sunflower seeds in it, which is really good for chickens. And it has corn, and the scratch has cracked corn and all kinds of just treat type of food. And then I fill it the rest of the way up with water. Like leave an inch for it to grow, because leave an inch of space at the top. Okay, and then I just freeze this in our deep freezer in the garage. And I have one made so you can see how it looks. Just like a cooking show or something for chickens. Just kidding. But really, they love this thing, and I noticed they loved it because it was cold, and so they would just lay by this giant block of ice all day and just peck at it because it has all the treats frozen in it. And it's been really good for them, for the meat birds, because of their size. I'm just gonna pop the lid on this. Here's how it looks. It's a bubble. Gross. Anyway, the sunflower seeds like float up, which is good because then when I dump it out, it's the last treat they get once they have pecked down. Here is what it looks like when it's frozen. And I will take this and their feed and I will fill up their water. All at the same time. Last thing I'll say is we do move this chicken tractor every day. It is so nice for them to have fresh grass and a fresh place for their feet and bellies. That was one thing that was in the comments on my Facebook post about these, is that their bellies get super gross, and so far they have a few of them have some poop on their feathers because they're just like, I don't know, they don't spread out. They're like on top of each other. They have plenty of space to spread out, but you can see they just like stay in a bunch like that, even though they have all that space. Anyway, they're weird. They like to just like huddle up. In the middle of the day, they're spread out pretty good. But right now when they're eating and especially at night when they're sleeping, they're just in this big giant ball. And so there is some poop on a few of their feathers, but their bellies have been staying really clean. And granted, we are only on like week 4, so they aren't as big as they're gonna get, but they're able to stand up really well. They're not they do lay down a lot, but they're not constantly laying in poop because we are moving it every single day. Once they get even bigger, we might reevaluate and move them twice a day. But right now, moving them once a day has been fine, and they're not getting gross, I guess, because that was one concern, was that, maybe not a concern, but just like some advice that, well, get ready because their bellies are going to be disgusting. And their bellies are weird because there's like no feathers on their bellies, so that is weird. But they're not dirty. They seem to be clean with us moving them every single day to new pasture grass. So that is really exciting for me because I was worried about that. Like when you raise animals, you are concerned about the well-being of the animal. It's really eye-opening because, you know, on larger scales, like, I don't know, the companies that work for McDonald's, there's no way they could separate their birds or get them as clean as we are able to get them. So it's kind of cool to know that, hey, these birds had a good life before we're going to eat them, I guess. The weird animal lover in me. Like, I love to eat meat, but I also really care about the well-being of animals. So the animal lover in me feels really happy about this and confident, and really good that, you know, if this works, we can raise a couple batches this size for our family and be able to feed our family chicken that we've raised ourselves. And we know what these chickens ate. We know that they weren't getting medicated feed. We know that they weren't getting GMOs, and we know that they weren't getting other hormones injected into them to raise them to be so ginormous. It's like, chicken breast from the store is so massive. Like, I don't know, it looks almost like turkey size, and I'm like, that cannot be healthy for us. But anyway, I know that's a sensitive topic, but I'm really excited about this for our own family, and for learning how to just care for my own family in this way is really exciting to me. So that's all I wanted to say on that, is that we are moving the chicken tractor every day. And you can see there is like a road where they've eaten. You can see the pathway where they've eaten the grass down and we've moved them, eaten the grass down and we moved them. So they are eating the grass too, which is really cool. That means they're getting more than just the feed in their diet and more than just the ice treat. And oh, the water. Also, I have to fill up the water every couple, like 3 times a day, which it's not a big deal since I am home most of the day, but I might be getting a bigger waterer for them very soon, just so that we can fill it up once in the morning. That would be really helpful. But I just check on them a lot throughout the day because I care about them and I want them to do well. So far we haven't lost a chick. We started with 19, we still have 19, and so far they're doing really well. And they don't look like they're going to have a heart attack or anything. That was another thing that I've read about these birds, is that they can get so huge that they have heart attacks. But we're planning on processing at 8 to 10 weeks. So we're going to do the first 10 at 8 weeks, the biggest ones, and then let the last 10, 9 or 10 grow the last 2 weeks and see. So that's our plan. All right. And that's how I've been taking care of the meat birds and giving them a little treat. They seem to really like it. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you have, we really appreciate it. And if you don't want to subscribe, please hit the thumbs up button. I understand not wanting to subscribe. Well, no, I don't. I subscribe to every channel I like. I'm weird. I love YouTube. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you're having a lovely day. And I will let you go. And these are our meat birds. First time over here. And I'm excited about it. I think it'll be good. In a few weeks, we're going to go ahead and order the big giant plucker because we don't really want to hand pluck them all. I know it's possible, but those machines look very helpful. So we're going to go ahead and break down and do it. We're going to order one for our little homestead. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.